hit on no brakes. My life is out of control. I'm telling you, nobody's safe. I've been living my life limbo. My ice, it came with a tray. I'm so high, got hot my face. This not a rock star face. I'm an emo, thug in my face. 0, 0, 0, 0, tell it to.
Ninth place position, only 8 get in, and guess who's in the 8th place position? That's the team we'll face on Saturday. USC Aiken at their place. Well, the thing I have to ask you is what will it take for us to get into that field? And more importantly, you've got to know when you go into this one, you've got to win all your games in order to survive and advance.
Yeah, I think the Jaguars have to just think about one game at a time right now. And the game they should be thinking about is the game against Lander. And both these teams are trying to advance, but different types of advancement. So the Bearcats are trying to hold on to the top spot in the Peach Belt regular season so they can go and advance in the postseason and hopefully keep a spot in the national ranking for the regional tournament. The Jaguars, on the other hand, they're just trying to get into that 8th spot. And if they get into that 8th spot, they'll make the postseason tournament, and hopefully anything can happen. And there's 2 other factors too. First of all, the Jaguars are trying to avenge an early season loss to Lander in which they lost the game and they had an 8-point lead with just a couple of seconds to go. So they're trying to get through that. And of course, on the other hand, the Bearcats are looking at a bigger picture.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get to that bigger picture for them. Also, your key players to watch, keys to victory, and a whole lot more coming your way. We're just about ready for a tip-off of this one in just a few moments. But before we get there, we've got to have the national anthem, the starting lineups, and a whole lot more. And the guy who tells us all about that each and every home game is Jason Shear. He's across the way. And Jason has all the particulars. Jason?
On behalf of Augusta University President Russell Keene, welcome to the George A. Christenberry Fieldhouse and Clint Bryant Court for this evening's Peach Belt Conference matchup between the visiting Lander Bearcats and your Augusta University Jaguars. At this time, would you please rise? Gentlemen, kindly remove your caps as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Presenting tonight's colors, please welcome the Grovetown Junior ROTC. And singing tonight's anthem, please welcome to the court, Caitlin Berner.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home and the brave.
Please remain standing until the colors have left the floor. Please remain standing until the colors have left the floor. Thank you. And now, let's welcome the starters for this evening's contest. First, let's welcome our visitors from Greenwood, South Carolina, the Lander Bearcats. Wearing number 23 for the Bearcats, please welcome Dylan Cannaville. Number 12, Grayson Pritzel. Number 5, Navon Mays. Wearing number 2 for the Bearcats, Terry Leonard Jr. And number 1, Antoine Weber Jr. The head coach of the Bearcats is Omar Watad. He is assisted by Alex Darling and Sebastian Augusto.
I'm telling you, nobody's safe. I've been living my life limbo. My ice, it came with a tray. I'm so high, got high my face. This not a rock star face. I'm an emo, thug in my face. 0, 0, 0, 0. Tell her to go change. Monkey nuts, holy baby. I got on 2 chains. Rolling another and I make fame. Spin on the block, have a.
And now let's welcome the starters for your Augusta Jaguars.
I feel the master.
At guard, a 6'5" freshman from Sydney, Australia, number 5, Charlie Macbeth. At forward, a 6'9" freshman from Lagos, Nigeria, number 7, Daniel Daramola. At guard, a 6-foot freshman from East Point, Georgia, number 11, Kendon Wilberg. At guard for the Jaguars, he's 6'7", a sophomore from Narvik, Iceland, number 8, Elias Paulson. And at forward, he's also 6'7", from Berlin, Germany, number 24, Louis Nonfon. The head coach of the Jaguars is Dip Beatrice. He is assisted by Zach Tinkham and number 21, Garrett Seiler.
What's up, huh? Country boy, you said something. If you're ready, why you stumbling into the flow, huh? If you're ready, why you stuttering?
Players, got a chance to see both of them. There's Charlie Macbeth. He is a star in the making. Freshman campaign averaging better than 11 points a game and 5 rebounds as he gets the start in this one. Daniel Daramola will jump tip the freshman. And the tip is up and controlled by the team in the dark uniforms, the Bearcats, out of Greenwood, South Carolina, as we welcome in the Bearcat Nation in the upstate of South Carolina, as the War Network welcomes the Jaguar Nation around the globe. Charles McNeil and Lynn Carlson, the Hall of Famer, First possession to the visitors, and they nearly throw it out of bounds, stolen away by Daramola. So Jaguars, see what we've got coming up on the defensive side, working against a man-to-man. Elias Paulson, Louis Nonfon, and Charlie Macbeth rising up. Strong on that attempt, and back the other way. This team, outstanding season they've had, 15-5. With shots like that, knocking that one home, Grayson Pritzel.
Yeah, I sat in on the scouting report. They said don't give him the standing jump shot. They did. He nailed them for 3 points.
6'4" junior guard out of Wisconsin. And there's an opportunity, almost a turnover. Great save there by Kendon Wilbur. But there's a steal by Pritzel. Pritzel doesn't have numbers, so he'll slow things up. Being guarded by Daramola. Hesitation move. He drives and kicks into the right wing corner. Now a strong drive. Bounce pass to the other side. Working from the elbow. Now the crossover. Get inside. Elevate over 2 defenders. There's a whistle and a foul against the Jaguars.
That's his first.
All alone.
First foul. At the line.
Hand down, man down.
Hand not even there. You know, the Bearcats do a real good job of recognizing mismatches and taking advantage of them. And when we have a switch situation tonight with the Jaguars, anytime Nonfon or Daramola are in the game and they have a smaller player on them, that smaller player for Lander is going to take them to the basket.
Terry Leonard Jr., sophomore out of Spartanburg. He attended Dorman High School. During his time there, they were one of the nation's best. The best public schools in the country. Both their boys and girls programs. I know that school extremely well. That's my mom's hometown. And my son, as well as first cousins, all attended Dorman High. From the perimeter, 3 ball in the air, nothing but bottoms.
Got to go over the top. Got to put a hand. He's their designated bombs away guy. He's 2 for 2.
Transfer out of St. Leo. Got the military on deck here. This is Military Appreciation Night. Elias Paulson halfway down. It pops out. Nonfon unable to get the mitts on it. Pritzel open on the left wing. He wants it. Thinking about the 25-footer. He will launch. Elias Paulson gets the loose ball.
Forced that one. That one was a little too deep.
Shades of the women's game, but in reverse, AU had an 8-0 lead before Lander scored. AU wound up blowing them away, 71-39. Jaguars trailing 8-0 here. Paulson, the Icelander, can't get it to go. Kept alive by Daramola, but into the hands of Weber Jr. Wide open to the bucket.
One more of those, and he's going to call a timeout. And he called the timeout right now. Are they going to play, or are they going to watch? That's what he's saying right now. Are you guys going to compete tonight, or are you just going to take it on the chin? Yeah, well, actually, not only I knew that they needed to take a timeout, the Lander player knew they needed to take a timeout. And right now, he's not talking about X and O, and he's talking strictly about, are you guys going to show up and play or not?
So Dip Mitras, the legendary one, coach, has been around for a long time, working against Omar Mutai, Georgetown, Tennessee, Chattanooga, some of the places where he called home during his collegiate career. 5th year at Lander. There's the coach. Talking about Dip Mitras, 2 wins shy of 600. In his 22nd season, Dip has done tremendous things in this program, including 2 national title appearances, 13 NCAA tournament appearances, 4 Final 8 appearances, and the all-time winningest coach in the Peach Belt Conference, but stuck right there at 598.
And a new team coming in. Don't blame them.
Okay. Got a substitution in the game in terms of Zanato. Rest of the starters out there for the Jaguars. Kick down low. Zanato. And followed up by Daramola. Daramola, the freshman out of Green Forest by way of Lagos, Nigeria. Gets the Jaguars on the board.
Got a great future here. He's about a year away. Got a great future here.
Yeah, imagine if the Jaguars can pull in 6'10", 7-footer like they've had in years past. We talked about Garrett Seiler, talked about Tyshawn Crawford. You bring somebody like that in, and Daramola can play the 4. Non-Fon could actually play the 3 in that instance. What that would potentially look at like inbounds, easy bucket by Weber Jr. He's got 2 field goals, young man out of Rochester, Minnesota. So you talked about the reinforcements for the Jags. They're out there. Tobias Prawl. This is Evan Joyner, preseason all-conference selection. Pritzl gets to the bucket. He's strong on that attempt. Rebounded by Prawl and off the corner to Dunbar. That's Cameron Pacheco. Zanato drives, right-hander, comes up short, fights for it to the floor. Back the other way, trying to get to the bucket. Instead, they go to the right wing corner. You got to stay on Pritzl. Find him wherever he is. That leaves a man open. Strong on the attempt. And Dunbar with the board.
Best rebound of the night for the Jags.
Dunbar, the freshman out of North Augusta. One of the young ladies that was on his girls team when he was in high school last year. Both teams, boys and girls, made it to the state championship. Dunbar was the star on that end, and McCain, who's part of the multiple title wins, now playing at Lander. She played in our first game. We've got a timeout on the floor. 14:54 left to play, Lynn, and Lander up by 10.
There we go. No defense really on their jump shooter. It got there too late. And also in the scouting report, they said they wanted to go over the top.
On the Roar Network. Inside of the home of the Jaguars, Christenberry Fieldhouse, it's Military Appreciation Day, and I know this warms your heart, Lynn, because you've got a lot of great players who were, enlisted to come over and play here at Augusta University some years ago.
Sure did, and I was into the military. So I think the best class or the best training I've ever had in my 85 years on this planet was airborne school when I was a paratrooper school. I mean, you talk about people paying attention. When your life is at stake, there's nobody snoozing in the classroom, I'll tell you.
I can imagine. Evan Joyner knocks down the first.
Always have a strong heart for the military. People are at home in front of their fireplace over the holidays, and they're out doing what they have to do to keep us safe.
Rebound by Dunbar. Flash, they didn't see him there. Now it's Joyner. Exploding to the bucket and scoring off the window.
Joyner, who's not a muscular guy, just made a muscle move.
We've seen that throughout the season with him. He's wiry, but grown man strength on display there. Pritzl from way downtown. Nice pass. in the painted area, the dish. Found Bobby Crawford Jr. 3 juniors on this team, meaning son of Bobby Crawford Jr., Terry Leonard Jr., and Antoine Weber Jr. as Deron
Dunbar doesn't get a lot of playing time, folks, but he can make hoops. They're going to need him up there tonight.
Yeah, I think Coach talked to us a lot about the fact that his defense, as with the case with a lot of freshmen, trying to understand the defensive concepts has been a issue. But he is learning, and when he's inserted on the offensive side, he can definitely score. He's not scared at all.
The most difficult thing to teach as a coach today is the secondary rotation on the defense. It's very, very hard. Particularly in high school, so many high schools play zone. Yeah, nice give and go, throws it to the outside. Ref says it was deflected by the Jags.
If they go into the monitor
They're
to
going to
check
go
on
look
this
at
one.
it. From our angle, look at it, it was deflected off the Bearcats. I don't know if we had the best angle on that. Here we go.
Yeah, on that one it looked maybe as if it was off Augusta.
Yep.
Let's take another look right there. Super slow motion. Evan Joyner.
Evan Joyner, the back of his hand.
Officials will take a long look there.
I'm surprised that Lander coach Omar has substituted so liberally so quickly. He's got, with the exception of their bombs away guy, he's got just about a new ball club out there.
Well, you know, interesting piece of that, this team's currently in the second place position. We touched on it at the top. 10-3 is their mark inside the Peach Belt Conference, 15-5 overall. But they've made that major leap we've seen in recent years. Georgia College, North Georgia, Georgia Southwestern State, you know, all, and Columbus State, of course, all vying along with Augusta University and USC Aiken vying for titles. Lander hadn't been in the mix on the men's side in a few seasons, but here they are, and Omar Watad now finding himself in the 5th season at Lander with 2 NCAA tournament appearances, including last season, building on that, but doing it with a completely different squad that he had from a year ago. Like, again, the changing face of college basketball on the D2 and D1 levels without the NIL money. And he's got transfers from Florida Gateway, from Clark Atlanta, St. Leo, Jackson State.
Earlier in the girls' game, we were talking about how do you build a team, and I said, well, at least half your team has got to be transfers from junior colleges. This is a perfect example. And the tough part about that is the high school kids aren't getting recruited as they should be. Brought that up in the women's game.
Bobby Crawford Jr. fighting for the loose ball. Gets an opportunity to shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Quick shot after he picked the dribble up.
Freshman, 6'8" out of St. Petersburg. They've got some talented freshmen on the women's side as well, as he misses a pair here.
He's got some good length to him.
Oh, they tried the back door. Now Pacheco will operate against Pritzl. Up top, Dunbar rises and fires. That went off the back. Here they come into front court. Jake been going, wanted the ball on the weak side. Instead, Dunbar has it. Hesitation dribble, kicks it out to Prawl. Pacheco, the ball fake. Now Zanato operating against a much smaller player. Instead, gives it away to Pacheco. Has a 6'8" guy on him. Now Joyner will drive. Joyner with the jump hook.
Good patience by the Jags on that possession.
Pass inside, deflected by Joyner. So the defense is standing up for the Jaguars, keeping them within hailing distance, down by 7. It's Dunbar. Looks for help to Prawl. Joyner. Hesitation dribble. Now kicks it out. Zanato, he likes it right there. Barely touches iron.
Omar tells him to slow it down. He's calling a play.
Ready to turn the corner. No, instead they go left wing. From the elbow, he drives, gets to the bucket. And Tommy Moore will head to the line.
They run a lot of double high post screens like they did on that play. Then they throw it back to the weak side, and he's got space for an isolation and a drive to the basket. They'll pack it in on defense. They're pretty good at getting loose second chance balls. They use multiple screens out front, and they're very good at recognizing the height mismatch, and they will, in their first unit, look for ISOs, isolation plays for their better players.
So the Bearcats on the season shooting it at nearly 67% from the free throw line. Moore out of Battle Creek, Michigan, makes the second one. The senior. Pacheco to Charlie, back on the floor. Charlie rises up and nails it.
Had good balance on that shot. And when you're coming back from an injury, the psychological part of coming back is as important as physiological. He's got to start believing he's a good player again.
6'5" freshman guard, Charlie Macbeth out of Sydney, Australia. A season-high 21 points at Lander. He feels quite comfortable playing against the Bearcats. There's a timeout on the floor. 11:30 left to play before the half, and the Jaguars have cut the deficit to 6. Right here on the Roar Network.
Place to unwind at the Augusta Marriott at the Convention Center, where comfort meets the heart of downtown Augusta. Relax in spacious rooms designed for a restful stay and a refreshing view. Start your morning with a workout in the fitness center. Savor every evening at Augustino's Italian Eatery, where local flavors meet classic taste. Discover how effortless your stay can feel at the Augusta Marriott. Discover unparalleled event spaces at the Augusta Marriott in Augusta, Georgia. From intimate boardrooms to expansive conference halls, our versatile venues cater to every occasion. With dozens of modern, flexible rooms, state-of-the-art amenities, and dedicated event staff, we ensure your meetings, conventions, or celebrations are seamless and unforgettable. Host your next event at Augusta Marriott.
Augusta University with the great snacks, concession stands, packed full of soldiers and others who have made their way in.
Jaguars with a mixture of the first unit and the second unit on the floor right now. You know, that second unit came in and kind of stemmed the tide a little bit, but then Lander also substituted, and the second group didn't do much. Now Omar's put his best unit back on the floor. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Pritzel's on the bench, though. He's leading him in scoring, Grayson Pritzel. He's got 6. Leading scorer for the Jaguars, Evan Joyner with 3. Antoine Weber Jr. at the line for the first time.
Okay, Antoine, stay at the free throw line. Don't back off it.
Still backed off on that one, Coach, but he got the
He
benefit.
made it, yep.
So The lead is back to 7. Largest lead has been 10. Charlie. Pacheco. Rebound by Daramola. His left-handed layup is good.
He's got a future here. He's got bounce. He can run. Just needs to get older and stronger and more experience.
4 points for Daramola.
He's got a future here, folks.
4 points for Daramola. 2 state titles in high school at Green Forest, and perennial single-A powerhouses, state of Georgia. And over the years, they've had a number of African-born players, as is Daramola. Pass is nearly stolen. Got it back to Prawl. Prawl trying to get it. Him and Pacheco playing hot potato. Shot no good. Follow up on the weak side by Toby Prawl.
Hustle basket. Don't look now, but it's a one-possession game.
Tobias Prawl, National Player of the Week, while a member of Southeast Arkansas Junior College. He had 23 points in an earlier matchup against Reinhardt, one of our Education Day games.
Tommy Moore, a driver, going in hard. Got bumped there. Actually, he got bumped before they took the shot, but they didn't call it till the second bump. The scouting report, they got him as a continual driver.
Knocks down the second one. Lead is 5. Daramola underneath. Another jump hook, and he is excited.
Tell you what, it's a diamond in the rough. He's got soft hands, turns, spins, nice soft hands. This guy's got a future here. And I'm not so sure he won't end up playing the 4. Bring in a 6'10" banger, stick him at the 4, and have him play out of the short corner and high post.
There's a lob over the top. Counterville could not get there. Dylan Counterville out of Broward County, Florida, the senior.
Almost, but no cigar.
Don Fawn back on the floor. Daramola off the feed from Charlie. International flavor for Augusta.
Daramola 18, Lander 18.
Daramola with 6 points. Is a career high against Clayton State and Reinhardt.
Seals his man, gets behind him. It was a very nice delivery on the pass, and he puts it in. But the energy has changed now, and the crowd's into it now. So we went from the doldrums to like it should be when you play at home.
Daniel Daramola. There he is in the spotlight. Young man who's going to have a lot of bright lights on him before he's all said and done here at Augusta. We're talking about a guy who has played in now his 20th game, his 5th start this season, averaging only 8 minutes a game, Lynn. 2 points and about a rebound a game. Known for his ability to block shots. He's got 7 of them thus far in the season. His career high, 11 points versus Georgia College. We mentioned those 2 other games, the Reinhardt game and the Clayton State game in which he scored 9.
Well, when the freshman comes here to play for Dip, he's got to learn defensive rotations, and he's got to learn a whole bunch of different offensive sets. And a lot of times when a freshman doesn't play early, he doesn't play early not because he's not good enough, it's because he can't remember. He hasn't figured out all the academic parts of playing for depth. And evidently now he's got better at it. It's a real nice muscle move.
Jacob Daniels, the junior out of St. Petersburg.
And he's who we highlighted, one of the four-headed snake.
Yeah, he's the leading scorer on the team. You mentioned the four heads, separated by 1.1 points a game.
Took a lot of hits and still had the strength to get it up.
The epitome of balanced scoring is this Lander squad, and they've used it to the tune of those 15 victories this season. Charlie rises up, comes up short. Daramola keeps it alive, but controlled by Lander. Leonard Jr., spin move. Oh, that was smooth.
That was sweet.
TL Jr., the young man out of Spartanburg and Dorman High School. He's played amongst elite competition.
We have a technical foul on Landers, Terry Leonard Jr. That's his second.
Here we go. Let's pick up this. What happens here? Oh, too small. If you call that an NBA game, there'd be no players left at the end of the game. You know, they emulate the NBA guys, and then they come down here and they do the same thing. And
That's perceived as taunting.
yep.
Paulson shooting the technicals for Augusta, and he rattles home a pair.
You know, and when it's a tie ball game, I don't think you should be like doing anything but playing. It's not like you're winning. It's not like you're kicking somebody's tail. Just play the game.
Paulson thought about the 30-footer, instead works it around the perimeter. Charlie, one dribble, kicks it over to Pacheco, who's wide open. Cam Pacheco.
Great ball work, great patience, great ball movement.
Trusting your teammates to make it happen. The young man out of Harrisonburg, Virginia, 6'3", 8 points versus Barton, Lubbock Christian, and Reinhardt. We got a timeout on the floor. 7:49 left to play before halftime. Cam Pacheco providing the offense for the Jaguars to give them the lead. First lead of the game for the Jags comes at the 7:49 mark as they lead this one by 1 on the Roar Network.
Let's take a look now at Daniel working inside. Gets good position, seals his man, kisses it off the glass. And this is strictly a touch shot. Spins one way, comes back the other, knocks it down. Watching him grow up right before our very eyes.
Lander basketball. Working it inside on the inbounds. Elevating off the window and scoring.
Second inbounds pass they've scored on the same play. The screener cuts back to the basket for and first one he was all alone. That one he was partially covered.
Antoine Weber Jr. now with 3 field goals. Elias Paulson, leading scorer for the Jags.
Good patience.
Shot clock at 5. Paulson gives way to non-Font. Aramola kept it alive. Now the Euro step, getting inside and finding the bottom somehow. Jacob Daniels.
Daniels can score in a crowd.
And no more evident than right there. And a tremendous move it was by Jacob Daniels.
Side bumps. Second time he's done that. He's taken a hit in his upper body, still had the strength to finish.
Jacob Daniels, just a freshman. So is Charlie Macbeth.
That was Macbeth's best physical move since he got hurt. He drove, he jumped off that leg, took a hit, and still was strong enough to make it.
See, he's wearing a wrap on the left knee as we got a steal. Paulson. Charlie on the wing wants it. See if Pacheco will get it to him. Yo-yo dribble.
Oh.
Pacheco.
Daniel was needed the ball twice in the post. They never gave it to him.
Elias, one dribble. High in the air for the board, the Bearcats. He's going to try to go coast to coast. Instead, kick it over the left wing. Oh, rocking him to sleep with the left hand. It didn't work out. Charlie operating. Charlie lost control of it. Fritzl back on the floor. Fritzl. Throw it out of bounds. Fans on that end thought so, but the official said last touch by the Jags. Charlie checks out.
Had a sloppy 3 minutes now by both teams. Just a lot of up and down and not a lot being accomplished either by the Bearcats or the Jaguars.
Wholesale substitutions off the bench of Demetrius. Kendon Wilberg back on the floor. And great hustle by Toby Prawl. Both teams pointing in their direction. Officials say last touch by Prawl or Wilberg. But either way, it's Bearcat basketball. Up by 1. Just under 5.5 left to go in the opening half. Fritzl. Nice pass inside. Left-handed layup is too strong. Rebounded by Zanato. Jaguars have numbers if they hustle. Joyner sizes up the defender. Tried to blow by. Instead, it's deflected away. Loose on the floor. Picked up, and here they come. Fritzl setting up the defender, Wilbur. The Hezzy. Went with the Smitty that time. It almost worked out for him. Picked up the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, he had too much dancing with the ball down on that end. And Pritchard comes back. Nice change of direction. Kind of like a Steve Nash move on that.
Yeah, that was the Smitty. That was actually Steve Smith popularized that one with the Atlanta Hawks. Fake as if you're going back out. And then you just that quickly change direction when the defender moves his feet.
Yeah, if he was bouncy, that would have been like a two-hander slam.
But that was the thing about Smitty. He played below the rim. He was able to do that and get by.
He's wide. He was wide.
Prawl. Double team momentarily. Now non-fine. Evan Joyner rises and fires. Too strong. Jaguars can't find the bottom of the goal. Going on a scoring slump here. Lander is not. Antoine Weber Jr., his first triple to go along with 3 two-point field goals.
Beat him down the floor.
Wilberg with the floater, not even looking at the basket.
Nice body drive by Kendon.
Redshirt freshman out of East Point, Georgia. His career high 13 points against USCB. We've got the under 4 timeout. 3:50 left to play. Jaguars trailing by 3 on the Roar Network.
Both of them are going to start at half court. They're going to run down, make a layup, and then a free throw. Then they're going to return to half court. The first one to make it back to half court. Again, Staples and Steptoe. Both are going to start at half court. Go down, make a layup, make a free throw. The first to return to half court wins. All right, gentlemen. On your mark. Either way. Pick a way. On your mark. Get set. Go! Make a layup.
I almost started.
All right, we got to make a layup first. All right, now we got to make a free throw. It's got to be the shoes. Oh, there, ball. Oh, he got it. He's going to make it back to half court. Sir, yes, sir. Congratulations. We got a winner. Thank you guys for your service. Thanks for getting out on the court tonight. We got some t-shirts. And turn around, we're going to go on a picture.
Military Appreciation Night in Augusta, Georgia. On the Roar Network, a presentation of Augusta University. So happy and so proud. Our military is a strong part of our community. We embrace them and all they do to protect our freedom. 3:56 left to go in the opening half. They've been treated to a good one. Looked like Lander, the team that's in the second place position in the Peach Belt, is destined for an easy run, but not so fast, my friend, said Demetrius.
Nice cut off the pick interior-wise. He muscled right over the Argentinian. Strength shot. You know, looking at all these military folks across the way from us, it's interesting that on the All-Army basketball team when I was in the service, not consecutively, but close to it, the 3 consecutive point guards were Hubie Brown, myself, and Mike Krzyzewski.
That's quite a list.
Yeah, a couple
all
of
Hall of Famers, right?
A couple of years between each one of us.
Let's see what they call on this one. So they call a held ball. Held ball, alternate possession arrow in favor of Augusta University. Watch it again.
Here we go.
Charlie, who's had his hand in the cookie jar that time, oftentimes got called for fouls this season, figured out a way to get it done. It's Donato. Wilberg outside, it's Crawl. He hasn't had a chance to get loose yet. Donato will operate with 10 on the shot clock. Working against a much smaller defender and an offensive foul as he slung the arm.
Oh, I hope we get a replay of that, because that could be El Flopperoo. Here we go, folks. Bang, bang, down goes Frazier.
That was an offensive foul. He was anticipating that second bump, but he sold it. 6-point game, 2-possession game, and there we have it on the other end. Offensive foul on the ball screen.
That was a makeup call.
Not necessarily. I mean, the first one was definitely a foul. Zanato fouled him. The only issue was down on this end, see that he's moving on the screen.
Number 22, number 8, Elias Paulson, and number 24, Louis non-foul.
All right, so the Jaguars with 2:46 left, trying to unlock that key to get some scoring, consistent scoring on the offensive end.
Get rid of it.
Pacheco in too deep. Rice wants some separation. There's a throw over the top to Nonfont. He'll work. Paulson likes the left hand on that side. Instead, he goes with the right hand. Tremendous move. Count it, and a foul.
Great use of the Euro step on that. Stretched out, used that long 6-foot, 7-inch body of his and just squeezed it in like a snake. Watch him step and whoa, he stretches it in.
Paulson at the line. And he makes the conventional 3-point play. So Elias Paulson, first points from the field for him. The Jaguars needed it. Double teamed over there in that corner. Eye on Pritzel. Dunbar matched up against terrific scoring Daniels. Ball tipped once, twice, and now they say foul on the floor. The Jaguars.
Fouls on the Jaguars. Daniel Daramola, his first.
Take another look.
It's Augusta's 10th team foul.
Wow.
Didn't see much there at all.
Maybe it was on somebody else. Because Daramola was out of that play.
Yeah, Daniel's saying I wasn't nowhere near it.
No. He was about 7 feet from the action.
And I think Lewis was the one who thought it was going to be on him. The official came in with 2 on one hand and 5 on the other. He might have meant 2-4. But in order to do 7, you've got to put up the 5 on one hand and 2 on the other. You can't do it with one hand. So now what was a pretty smooth game has become a back and forth affair at the free throw line.
It's getting handsy right now. Not chippy, but handsy.
Checking in for Lander, Bobby Crawford Jr. At the line for the Jaguars.
So the engineering major heads to the line. Talked about the 2 state titles he won at Green Forest Christian. Has 2 brothers. And he says his 2 brothers and his family are his inspiration.
And interesting, his favorite book is the Bible. Good for him.
Favorite athletes, he likes some bigs, Shaquille O'Neal and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And as I followed Green Forest back in the early 2000s, one thing I can note is they had a lot of athletes from Lagos, Nigeria, and many of them started off about Daniel's height and grew to over 7 feet. So that 3 ball drops down for Tommy Moore.
They had a switch there, and they had a little on the big. The little took Daniel outside and shot the jump shot. They're real good at recognizing mismatches.
Pacheco finds the bottom.
Showing some ball handling skills before that shot as well.
Cam. 5 now. Off the bench for Demetrius and company. 2-for-1 opportunity for Lander. Taking their time being delivered. Shot clock down to 6. Jacob Daniels, leading scorer, gets it down low to the youngster who scores at the shot clock buzzer. Daniels finding Bobby Crawford Jr. And now there is 0.4 of a second between the shot clock and the game clock. The Jaguars will hold it for 1.
Crawford's a good-looking freshman.
Pacheco. On the wing, Elias Paulson drills it, but there's a foul on the Jaguars. Daramola picks up a quick 2 in the final minute and some change of the half. Daniel will have to check out. Charlie comes in to spell him. Jaguars have to hold it down for 6.5 seconds. Lightning in a bottle. Antoine Weber Jr. to the bucket. And that is swiped by Non-Fon. On the drive, Charlie McBeth will pick up the foul. So
see if he got his hand in on there. Oh, riding his waist on his hip. We talked about that. He's one of those guys who always has his hands in the cookie jar. And he's a good player. He's got to learn to play without fouling people. And he doesn't foul with his body. He's very handsy.
second one no good. 1.6 and the desperation heave comes up short of the mark. So we played 20 minutes inside of Christenberry Fieldhouse. And what is your assessment of what you saw out of the Jaguars, who trail by 7?
First 5 minutes, Jaguars got wiped out. Since then, it's been even Steven.
Yeah, they were trailing by a score of 10-0 at the onset of this contest and found themselves a way to get back. And it's come through for the Jags in fine fashion on Military Appreciation Night here in Christenberry Fieldhouse. The Jaguars trail Lander, there, one of their outstanding rivals here in the Peach Belt Conference, 40-33, battling for their tournament playoff lives. So the Jaguars will come back with our halftime report. Your Jaguar halftime report is up next, right here on the Roar Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Augusta University dance team. If you've got friends coming into town, make sure they stay at one of our lodging partners. Check out the Augusta Marriott at the Convention Center.
You got him. Give me one, Cam. Let's put on the show, man. I got the blood flowing early, sweating. Now we just got to handle business, man. Watch my soul speak. You, watch it. Here we go, soldiers. Let's go.
Back inside Christenberry Fieldhouse, where the Jaguars trail by 7, alongside my main man, indeed, the 3-time Hall of Famer, Len Carlson, Charles McNeil, hanging out with you guys. And the Peach Belt Conference, always an exciting time, especially when you get down to the meat and potatoes, Coach, the final 2 weeks of the season. When you were coaching on the sidelines, what were some of the things that you would tell your guys as it relates to you got to get these victories in order to survive and advance into the tournament? Obviously, everybody just about then made the tournament, but now it's one of those things where with 11 teams, some folks don't get in.
Yeah, you got to be really careful how you word that with your players, because it can be a dual-edged sword. So if you tell them, we've got to win this game, and it's of absolute importance to da-da-da, and you lose the game, then their heads hanging and they're thinking there's no reason to play any of these other games. So you've got to develop a sense of urgency with your team, but while you're doing that, you have to also leave them the sense that there is hope still if you don't achieve your goal for that night.
Well, it's interesting you should say that, because I know coaches, traditionally have been one game at a time, but if you look in your crystal ball, you know what is coming. So it's got to be a difficult time as we take a look at the standings, kind of give you an idea of what's happening within the Peach Belt Conference. And as you look at those standings, one thing that you'll see that stands out is where the Jaguars currently are. You've got to go all the way back down to the 9th position, someplace we've not been in a very long time.
Ever.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the year in which the pandemic took place and we had a shortened amount of games that was played that season, and then there was the one year that Dip appropriately, or maybe inappropriately, called the team the Wrightsboro Road Warriors. Those 2 seasons were the ones that were probably the most challenging in his 22 years on the sidelines here, but not like this. Never had a losing season as head coach of the Jaguars, and with 5 wins, you still find yourself below 500 for the first time ever.
Yeah, I know the 15 years that I was with them, we never won less than 20 games. Never.
Yeah, so let's look at that. You see right there the number 2 position, half game behind Buford is Lander. And I know those weren't on anyone's bingo cards at the beginning of the season.
There's so many different things that can happen here depending on who wins and who loses. So I think you can't worry about any of these other teams. You just have to worry about yourself. And your modus operandi should be, we're going to win as many of the remaining games as follows, and then let the chip falls where they may. Because if you start thinking about these other teams, you'll go crazy.
Right, so let's look at the math. 5 games remaining. Jaguars, if they win out, they're 9-11 in conference play. That would be, if they've got to win the game on tonight, then win the game against Aiken on Saturday. That gets them even in the win-loss column. They would split the season series with Aiken. And then you've got just ahead of those 2 with a sizable margin is Georgia Southwestern State and North Georgia. Now, the irony in that is North Georgia was up near the top early on in the season. And when you look at the preseason rankings or thoughts by the coaches, North Georgia was picked to finish first. USC Buford was picked to finish second, followed by USCA and Augusta University. Columbus State, Lander in the 5th place position. And there's Lander in the number 2 position. And obviously Aiken and Augusta near the bottom.
Now, I don't think you have to worry about Clayton State or Middle Georgia, what they do. But I'd be concerned with how USC Aiken and Georgia Southwestern plays. And even North Georgia, their fate is in their hands as well. But all that we have to worry about is winning as many of the remaining games as possible, starting with tonight. This is a huge game because we lost a game up there that we had won.
Now look over on the right-hand side of that column, Coach. You see streaks. Ours is next to the bottom in terms of losing 5 consecutive games. Like you said, Middle Georgia, who we will see here in the next to last home game of the season, a week from Saturday, I believe it is, and then we close things out against North Georgia on our home floor. But the Jaguars' home record, very respectable 7-4. So 8-4 with a win here tonight puts them, as far as wins, right up there near the top. Only Flagler with 9 victories, Georgia Southwestern with 9 have done better on their home floor coming into this contest.
Well, starting with this game tonight, if we win 4 of the 5, I think we get a legitimate shot of being in there. 3 of the 5, you're hoping. 2 of the 5, it's not going to happen. So basically, that when it comes down to numbers, that would be it.
All right, let's check out the news and notes from around the Peach Belt Conference. Always things happening, including our Player of the Week, A.J. White, coming into the season. We saw him last season on the road, but coming into the season, we knew this young man was going to be one to watch, and obviously winning this award just showcases his skills. And then Pritzel, the young man we're facing tonight, who got off to a fast start with 2 made threes, got the award 2 weeks ago.
You know, Pritzel had an unusual game so far. He had a great start, but then he forced the action on about 3 or 4 plays, and he hurt him. A.J. White, I'm amazed that he came back to North Georgia. I don't know what the deal on. I thought for sure he was going to get plucked by a Division I team. And Marlon Smith, when Columbus came up here, Columbus played good, but Marlon Smith wasn't a factor until the last 5 minutes of the game. Then he pulls up and he makes a baseline jump shot. He makes a muscle move on the left, and then he drains about 8 free throws, and the next thing you know, they win, we lose. So, there you go.
All right, let's go ahead and go to Keys to Victory. We didn't get a chance to get these in earlier, but Keys still...
Well, if you go Keys to Victory for Augusta, number one, they've got to finish the game. They've got to avoid the dreaded 3-minute collapse at the end of the game, which has killed them all year long. And they've got to get some bench production. The bench needs to produce on both ends of the court. They need to make baskets and they need to play D.
Yeah, Jaguars bench has scored 12 points so far in the game. Lander, 15.
Yeah, and you can live with that. And then they need to take care of the ball. They need to limit their turnovers. They've done a decent job with that. And they have to make their free throws, because in the previous game that they played up there, which they lost in overtime, they missed 10 free throws. If you make 2 or 3 of them, it would never go into overtime. And for the people who watched that game on the webcast, they had a 6-point lead with about 10 or 11 seconds to go. And, you know, that's the kind of loss that makes coaches not sleep at night and makes them drink.
Coming up, we've got the first half highlights and your statistical breakdown of the first half, opening 20 minutes of play. Jaguars trailing by 7. Second half highlights, or first half highlights, coming up next right here on the Roar Network. See some of the legends from Augusta University, days gone by, including Garrett Seiler, who's now on the sidelines with Dip Matris as one of his assistants, his graduate assistant. Of course, Zach Tinkham has done a tremendous job in his years here as well. Keenan Mann, my former broadcast partner, got started here, and along with Chad Cook, come to steward the way for Lynn, come in and be our guy. And then Keyshawn Sherrill, Ben Magin, legends, A.J. Bowman as well.
You know, A.J. was discovered jumping over a car, and Keenan was not only a great player, he's a real smart guy, and he's been successful since he's left here. And Keyshawn dropped in 26 points in the first division of Turkey last week. He's averaging 20.6 points a game, so they'll have him back. And he's making in six figures, so good for him.
I'm going to ask the guys to roll in the highlights while Lynn continues to pontificate.
And Garrett is right over there in the bench. There's Pritzer. And he gets off to an early start now. He's going to get another one. That was absolutely no defense at all.
That's what Dip called the timeout.
Yeah. Beat him down the floor again. And at this point, it really looked dire for the Jaguars. And Dip made a wholesale substitution. And oddly, Omar made a wholesale substitution. Well, I thought he was going to put the foot on their throat and keep going, and he didn't. And things slowed down, and then before you know it, the Jaguars are back in the ball game.
Yeah, a variety of guys making it happen. You see individual highlights for the Jaguars who did it in a variety of ways. Won't have a chance to put the stats on the screen, but we can tell you Augusta University shooting almost 45% from the floor, but 61, almost 62% for Lander in that first half is a key number. AU and Lander turning the ball over 7 times each stealing from their opponent 5 times. Jaguars with only 2 assisted baskets in that first half. Trailing in bench points 15-12 as AU as they get a steal. Give it up. Wilbur rises up, and he is fouled on his way to the hole, and he's fired up.
It was a very nonchalant effort by Lander to get open on that inbounds pass. He stood there like his feet were stuck in the floor and allowed the Jaguars to pick the ball off. And that was Weber. I'm sure Weber would like to have that opportunity all over again.
Kendon Wilberg at the line.
One of those keys to winning. Make your free throws. And he's a good free throw shooter.
Makes good on the second. First points of the second half. Wilberg came into the game 29 of 33, so that was an uncharacteristic miss. Pritzel against Paulson. And he loses the ball out of bounds with the help of a Jaguar, the official says.
Jaguars did a good job in that possession of packing it in the middle and not allowing a drive.
Driving to the basket, elevation off the window. Cannavale. Transfer from Jackson State gets on the board. Just his second shot attempt of the contest. Third leading scorer, averaging 12 and a half a game. Daramola got to put it up. Will with the left hand, comes up just short. Dribble penetration and a hard fall. Louis Donfon.
Well, we had a situation on that there where Cannavale was going to use a muscle move, and he muscled a guy that was just as strong as him, and he hit the deck.
Yeah, that one I think you just let go. It was Cannavale who actually initiated the contact.
You know, Weber's got good size for a Division II guard. Long arms, big hands. Really can't tell how tall he is because of his hairstyle.
Yeah, listed at 6'3". Good night at the line. He extends the Bearcat lead. So Weber leading scorer with 12. Not part of the big four, so his points are bonus for a team that came in averaging 80 points a contest. Lander, third leading scoring team in the league and third best defensive scoring, or stopping their opponents from scoring defensively.
Pritzer with another ill-advised shot.
Number one in scoring margin. Field goal shooting percentage, number one. Opponent's field goal shooting percentage, number 2. Team three-point shooting in the top 10. Actually, number 3 is Lander. Non-Font, looking to post, working, goes with the left hand, too strong, ball kicked in the air. And now Pritzel has up by 10, looking to extend the advantage. So Lander getting off to a fast start as they did at the top of the game. And Pritzel goes into our camera person. Underneath, should be some great pictures coming from that.
He forced that drive as well. Here we go. Bang. Hazard pay. You know, when you have a dangerous job in the military, it's military night, you get hazard pay. So that camera person gets hazard pay tonight.
Grayson Pritzel taking care of business at the free throw line to extend the lead to 12. Largest lead of the game for Lander. Jaguars, nice pass underneath to Charlie.
Nice weak side cut. Good delivery of the ball. Results, 2 points for the Jaguars.
Macbeth now 3 of 5 from the field. He's got 6. Pritzel setting up his teammate for the open 3. High in the air from the board. Excellent rebound, and then the elevation comes up short. Ball is loose. He kicked it. And it's Jaguar basketball.
For Augusta, number 22, Cameron Pacheco, and number 15, Matias Zanato.
So Matias Zanato, Cam Pacheco back on the floor for Augusta. Trailing by 10 with an opportunity to get it under double figures.
Pacheco had a good first half, I thought. Didn't turn it over, made a couple of hoops.
Gotta like those shoes Pacheco's wearing. Oh! That one was swatted.
Good body drive by Macbeth. Watch him hit him with his shoulder when he drives. So with his shoulder, boy, you gotta learn how to shoot with your left hand. It makes all the difference in the world.
Our production team and Cam goes to the line, have to get a shot of those sneakers he's wearing. They look like they've got sequins on them. His shoe game is tight.
Remember the Bee Gees?
Absolutely.
They used to have shoes like that.
Charlie making good at the free throw line. Saturday Night Live, huh?
Yep.
Or Saturday Night Fever, I should say. There's the lob over the top.
That's a highlight play, folks.
Dylan Canaville. Charlie. Matias. Elias. Cam. Back to Charlie. Now down low. Daniel. Whoa, with an explosive move.
Folks, he is going to be a handful someday. Pass. He rolls, throws it at the basket. And I think he's going to be a big that's going to be a decent free throw shooter, which is a plus.
First time at the line. He's got 7 now. Look at 8. That was pure. And there's a steal off the inbounds. Charlie has it to Daniel. Now Cam. Charlie can operate. Instead he finds Zanato. Trying to find Daniel in the post. He's got a height advantage. Elias instead will pull up. And he gets the home rim roll. Here come the Jaguars.
Shooter's touch. The Jags are back.
2-possession game. 15:42 left to go in regulation. Oh, another explosive move, taking it right at the freshman.
He could have shuffled off the Buffalo on that too. That could have been a travel.
It's Canterville again. Cam rises and fires.
Jaguars fighting back.
No quitting the Jags. Cam Pacheco now 24 made threes on the season. Beautiful feed for the reversal.
Exact same play, except Pritchard didn't make the pass, Weber did. Exact same play.
Hannibal with the finish.
Curl cut, hits the screener.
Off the ball fake, the drive. Kept alive, and here they go. Man is free. Hannibal kicks it. He travels before he does.
They got him that time.
We got a timeout on the floor. This second half has become exciting. 14:32 left.
Here we go. There's that nice dish after the screener screens and rolls. We'll be right back on the Roar Network.
Yeah. Let's go. Oh. Let's go. Make it hot. Come on. Let's go. Rock. Let's say what? Rock. Let's go. Rock this party. Dance everybody. Make it hot in this party. Don't stop. Move your body. Rock this party. Dance everybody. Make it hot in this party.
Ladies and gentlemen, your AU dance team. Again, Grace Reyes. Grace Reyes, please report to the scorers table. Thank you.
Dylan Canterville. He's got the reputation of being a driver and a finisher. There's a perfect example. He sets the screen, he rolls, he gets it in. Back to live action.
Cam Pacheco and the Jaguars trailing by 7 with possession of the basketball inside of 14 and a half left. Charlie rises up, front iron on that attempt. Good rebound by the freshman, Crawford Jr. Running the point duties, Jacob Daniels back on the floor, their leading scorer, and a freshman. Jake Cadron, air ball. Nonfont is not the guy you wanted to hit running up the floor.
Great outlet pass. Got tipped away, and it was fortuitous that another Jag came right behind him and picked it off.
Yeah, it was Toby. Cleaned it up. But you don't want to pass it to the big, streaking up the floor. Jags running the offense. Now Lewis elevates. Block from behind. Through the hands of Zanato. On the left wing, Tommy. Side rim with the 3-ball. Saved by the youngster.
It's a quick shot they didn't need.
Tried the slip pass. It's kicked by the Jaguars.
That elbow screen with the baseline cut has been their most productive play. And if it hadn't got kicked, it would have worked on that one.
BC. Up top to Tommy. Ringone. Ringone has not been able to get off at all. He has needed to with Terry Leonard having
Great
a
defense
good
by
night.
Pacheco, just an even greater offensive move.
So Leonard, second leading scorer now. 6 in the game. Jaguars with a quick shot that didn't work out. 9-point game. Bullet pass down low to the youngster.
That was all Daniels. Jacob Daniels, he made that happen. What a beautiful pass.
Yeah, he and Bobby Crawford know each other quite well. They come from the same high school, Lynn.
There you go, taking care of your former teammate.
Both out of St. Petersburg, Gibbs High School. They were high school teammates a year ago and come as a package, I guess, to Omar Watad, who offered both. Donato from way downtown. Rebound by Charlie. He spins like a top. Finds Pacheco. Down low is non-fine. One bump. Pacheco on the dribble drive. Kicks it. Toby rises and fires. Too strong, but rebounded by Zanato, who knows what to do with it.
Zanato didn't quit on it. He's missed his last 2 or 3 shots. They had the guts to go in there and get a rebound and put it back.
Matias Zanato was 0 for 3 from the field before knocking that one down. First points of the game for Zanato. Daniels dancing in the painted area and drawing contact against the Jaguars with 11:37 left to play. We've got a timeout on the floor. Augusta University trying to stay close in a must-win situation. They trail by 9 on the Roar Network. Bring you back inside the Christenberry Fieldhouse, the home of the Jaguars, where they trail 56-47. 5 fouls in the contest for Lander, 14 fouls for Augusta.
One common denominator in this game so far is neither team can make a 3. You know, we had Pritzer made the first couple of threes of the game, and both teams have been throwing bricks up there ever since.
Yeah, if either team can get a run going, thinking more in terms of Augusta University, if they can get one going, that might be the missing factor of mounting a comeback. Beautiful backdoor feed, and an excellent pass it was from Tringone.
Great back cut, volume in.
As he found their leading scorer.
Fouls on Landers, Bobby Crawford Jr. His first.
Give the assist to Tringone, and the bucket to the leading scorer. Came in with a nice play there. Jacob Daniels. Daniels, that's his fourth made field goal. Lead is back up to double figures. Top of the circle, 3-ball. Toby kicked it out. Toby will get a try. Halfway down for he as well as Zanato.
It's an example of what we were just talking about. You can't get the three to go down.
And it's got to be frustrating for Augusta University. This is not only their home floor, but the floor they practice on.
Conversely, Lander has really stopped shooting them, and they're just going dribble, drive, penetration. They're trying to live on the foul line.
Yeah, and it's uncharacteristic for Lander, as we mentioned earlier. They're number 3 in three-point shooting percentage in the league.
Highlighted player at the free throw line gets the second one.
Jaguars trying to find some rhythm offensively here in this second half. Nearly halfway through, Daramola gives it to Cam. Spins, kicks it out. Elias for 3. Rebounded by Cam. He's too strong on the layup attempt. A shove from behind. And that'll send him to the line. And I think we got a technical foul on the Jaguar sidelines as well.
Pacheco was all over on the initial catch.
On Grayson Pritzel, his second, the team's 7th. There's also a technical foul on the Augusta bench.
That's an unusual call, considering the
Was it a taunting thing?
foul went against Lander. Pritzel at the line.
He's had a tough night since those opening 2 shots.
Makes the second. That extends the lead to 13. It is the largest lead of our game. 60-47.
You know, very quietly, the Bearcats have kind of separated. And I can't point to any one thing outside of the Jaguars' inability to make a basket.
Well, that and dribble penetration led to some easy looks
on the other
for
end,
them.
yep.
As you said, they kind of went away from shooting threes. Got it to the young freshman, their leading scorer. Got the ball to the basket as well. And Jacob Daniels, who has it right here, working against Toby Prawl. Elias and Pritzel. Ten on the shot clock. High ball screen. And steal. Opportunity. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Got to get a shot up. And with 1 second on the shot clock, foul committed by Tobias Prawl.
You got to know when to foul and when not to foul. That had absolutely no possibility of going in the basket. So you just let him throw it up there. If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. In the bad part, it's a 3-shot.
Yeah, he was outside the arc.
Yeah.
With one on the shot clock and a desperation run-up.
I don't think he would even hit the backboard on that shot.
I would love to have seen a second angle on that one because while he was pursuing him, meaning Toby was pursuing him, it didn't seem to be visible contact. He just went in the air and then kind of threw it out, threw his arms out. Daramola in a must-score situation for the Jags, and he's going to be called for an offensive foul. So Daramola with the elbow floored Trengone. Young man, the sophomore out of Albany, Maryland. Checking his chicklets right now. It's another look.
There we go. That's right in the face. He gets him with a boom, right in the face. So how do you gain separation on a play like that? If you can't do that, how do you get rid of your man? You get rid of your man with your best friend, and your best friend in your basketball is your butt. Okay, so you use your back, you use your forearms, you use your triceps, and you use your butt. But you don't use your fist, your hands, or your elbow. If you look back in the history of the NBA, all those guys that play around the basket and could score like that, they all had the big butt, and they all had the big back.
So situation here, the officials checking to see if this will be upgraded from a regular common foul to something more egregious.
Turns, that's okay, that's not okay. You know, if you look at the time and the score now, if this turns out to be like a 3 or 4 free throw deal, it's virtually putting a seal on the game for Lander. So this could be a big turnaround right here. You take the 3 free throws on the Heath on the previous possession, and then you wait to see how many free throws are going to happen on this one, and this is not good.
Came into this contest talking about the importance of the Jaguars and their coaching staff who normally takes it one game at a time, but you have to look at the bigger picture. This particular form of desperation is Jaguars, 5 games remaining as the official comes over to give us the rendering.
Foul on the floor has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul for excessive contact to the head of the opponent.
As you probably heard there,
I kind of saw that coming, did you?
absolutely. As we get another look right there, he leans in. That was the difference. You can swing your elbows as long as when your contact's made, you don't look like you're purposely trying to bring contact to the defender. And based on him taking that step forward, although he wasn't looking for forcible contact, he was trying to find separation.
That wasn't even close. He was lucky to draw iron on this one. Let's see what he gets on this one here.
Trengone. So Trengone making good on the second one. Trengone is on the board. Tommy Moore back on the floor to run point. Trengone. Turning the corner. Daniels off the window.
You know, he's made about 3 of those, and he's a little skinny guy. But he gets in there, and he spins, and he takes a hit, and he makes the basket. And this game is getting ready to get out of hand.
Talked about at the top, Dip Matrix 2 wins away from 600, but facing the number 2 team in the conference.
And he just did it again. Time for a timeout, Dip.
Jacob Daniels with back-to-back field goals plus the free throws, and what was an 8-point game has come a lot closer, but there's a scorer who could possibly lead him back if he can get hot. We've seen it, Len, on the high school level. This guy can really heat it up.
But you got to leave him out on the floor.
So a three-pointer, first one made by Deron Dunbar, the freshman out of nearby North Augusta. There's a lob over the top. And I didn't hear a whistle, but apparently there was a whistle.
And it's the 10th foul. So they're shooting 2 now with 18 to go. Yeah. Got him with his hip.
I think it might have been his left hand with a slight push.
So basically all Lander has to do for the rest of the game is eat the ball and shoot free throws.
Bobby Crawford Jr. has shown some signs here in this one. Now Pacheco and Dunbar can knock down threes, as can Paulson. Charlie on the perimeter. Bounce pass down to Daniel. Trigon rises up over the top of him and scores. Daramola with a new career high 14.
A portent of things to come.
Trigon underneath Crawford Jr.
Nice touch for a big man.
Bobby Crawford Jr. looking for a career night.
He's a freshman. He's going to be a dandy. He is going to be a dandy.
Foul is on Landis Antoine Weber Jr. His fourth, the team's 8th foul.
18-point advantage. We've got the under 8 timeout with the Jaguars trailing big in this contest. They're going to have to make a run in this final 7 minutes. Can they do it? We'll find out next on the Roar Network. Inside of the home of the Jaguars, Christenberry Fieldhouse, where the fans are still hanging in there with hopes of a comeback. Down by 18 in this one. The Jaguars already with 10 personal or team fouls, so that means double bonus from here on out. Lander with 8, so 1-1 for the next free throw opportunity, and then they'll go into the double bonus. Will the Jaguars in trouble? Certainly ahead for the Jags, as they've got Aiken on the horizon, losing the game to them earlier here, which means they've got to win this one and the game on Saturday to keep their playoff hopes, slim playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, one thing that's positive about this game, if you're a basketball junkie, we're watching two big freshmen, one for each team. We got Bobby Crawford from Lander, and we've got Daniel Daramola for the Jaguars. These two guys are going to be two of the premier big men in the Peach Belt Conference their junior and senior year, if not earlier. Both of them can run the floor, both of them jump well, and both of them have a soft touch. So we're seeing two future stars tonight.
And I think I mentioned earlier about Daniel's 2 state titles and the program he comes from. It looks like he's gotten taller since he's been here. He actually has about 2 inches over Crawford. Crawford listed at 6'8". Daramola listed at 6'9", but he's every bit of 2 inches taller than him. Gone underneath, finding his teammate, slashing to the hole. That's Antoine Weber Jr.
How many times are they going to run that backdoor play from the corner? Backdoor cut.
Fifth made field goal gives him 14. Charlie gonna break down the defense, rise and fire. Side rim with that one taken away by Elias. Now it's Dunbar. His 3-ball rattled around and out. Pritzl being guarded by Pacheco. Taking him with the left side now, spinning back to the right. Ball deflected by Charlie, picked up by Charlie.
I don't know why Pritzl's playing the point. He's not quick. You have one of those little road runners because I think they're going to open the floor now. They're going to put a road runner out front, and they're going to run a 5-out and run a lot of back doors and make some layups and make some free throws and go home. But Pritzl really struggles out there. He's a catch-and-shoot guy.
Macbeth at the line. 2 for 2 on the night, and he makes it 3 for 3.
In the game for the Jaguars, Carlton Young.
Macbeth now at 9. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals on the evening.
They keep missing those free throws. Second one. It's going to be a foul. Get your hands off them.
Jaguars still proficient, Lynn. 13 of 17 from the stripe. Dribble penetration, kick to the open man. Set shot from the corner is good. Jacob Daniels with the 3-ball. His first 3 to go along with a number of 2s.
Yeah, he's killed them driving to the basket.
He's got 15 along with 5 rebounds, 2 assists in 21 minutes of action.
And I fear the rest of this game is going to be free throw, free throw, free throw, free throw, because now the Jags are in a 2-shot situation.
Paulson, 80% free throw shooter on the season. 3 for 3 tonight. Correction, make that 5 of 5 for Paulson.
Jags with a 2-2-1, soft pressure. See if they trap once the ball gets over half court. No.
Tommy Moore now. Tommy Moore, Jacob Daniels, and there's a steal by the Jags. Carlton Young on the floor for the first time for Augusta. Elias Paulson goes in with the right hand.
Yeah, they gave him that layup.
We say hello to our friends in Nordvik. Iceland tuned in. 76-59, and there's a steal. Daramola can't get it. Kick it in the right side. Tommy for three.
Even their drivers are making jump shots now.
Both field goals by Tommy from three-point land. He's got 9 now. And the lead again is 20.
Kick out to the corner. Plenty of time to get it off. Let's see if he can convert both of these now.
Uncharted territory for the Augusta University Jaguars. Showed it at halftime. Augusta not used to losing streaks, find themselves in the midst of one right now. Last victory for the Jaguars was on the road at North Georgia. That was back on January the 21st. Since then, losses at Flagler, at home to Buford by 1. On the road by 10 at Georgia Southwestern State.
Landers got a real big lead now, and Omar's getting hot because they're playing careless basketball. But coaches are always coaching regardless of the score, and he wants to see his team finish and finish properly. He doesn't want them to get sloppy. The outcome of this game has been determined.
Of course, at home to Columbus State by 3 in our most recent home game, and then on the road Saturday at Georgia College, another 10-point setback for AU.
We have our final media timeout.
So, media timeout, the 3:43 mark, the Jaguars down by 19.
Oh, you get... So told. I was ready. Do that. I'm gonna go to next.
Let's hear it for your AAU Spirit team. Fans, don't forget before you leave tonight, stop by the North Mezzanine, grab the to-go box from J.H. Moore Barbecue. That's right, it's a great late night snack or it's a great breakfast tomorrow. J.H. Moore Barbecue. It's better known. It's
Number 2 team in the Peach Belt, Lander University.
Check out before you leave.
In complete control here inside the Christenberry Fieldhouse. Just under 4 minutes left to go. Lander with all 3 timeouts remaining. Augusta with 2 left. Both teams in the double bonus the rest of the way. There he is, Omar Watad, young man who had came to Lander after being on the staff of Lincoln Memorial. Saw 2 trips to the Final Four and 1 to the national title game. Played his high school ball at Science Hill High School. He left as the all-time leading scorer with 2,200 points and is in their Hall of Fame.
I played pro ball in Europe for a number of years as well.
Now, I became familiar with him when he made it to Georgetown. Played there for 2 seasons and finished at UT Chattanooga.
Were you announcing at Georgetown when he was there?
No, that was, he came significantly much later. I was at Georgetown with Alonzo Mourning and Dikembe Mutombo for the dynamic duo. And we had 3 freshman guards, Lamont Morgan, Robert Churchwell, and there was one other young man that came in that recruiting class. It made it to the second round, beat Utah with Hannah Medela. Hannah Medela wound up being drafted by the Hawks. And we knocked them off in the first round. Weren't supposed to make the NCAAs. We had a sub-500 record going into the Big East tournament and won it all. Won the entire Big East tournament.
John Thompson was the coach.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of calling all 16 games of the Big East on Armed Forces, ironically, on Armed Forces Appreciation and Military Appreciation Night. I did all the games on Armed Forces Radio, as well as our local network for Georgetown.
I saw John Thompson play when he was Bill Russell's substitute. He had the best job in the NBA.
You better believe it.
The only time he got in the game was when Bill Russell had a heart attack or he fouled out.
Or the Celtics were up by 50.
Yep.
And Coach, rest in peace. Great guy, and he loved Augusta University. He and Clint Bryant, tremendous friends. Coach came down on a couple of occasions since I've been here in town. Daniel Daramola went high in the air, was denied, but the follow-up on the weak side. They won't count that basket, but Daramola will once again head to the line.
And he's doing this, and their tall freshman is out of the game. And Daramola, if you look to the left, he would have saw that Macbeth was all alone. All he had to do is dump it down. Macbeth's got a layup.
It'll be part of his maturation going into the new season.
Absolutely.
Take that one little glance, although he's proven to be an effective passer, as Daniel. So in that story about Georgetown, we defeat Utah in Tucson, Arizona, and we faced the #1 team in the country in UNLV with Stacey Augman, Larry Johnson, Anderson Hunt, and Greg Anthony. 3 future pros. And arguably 2 of them could have been college basketball Hall of Famers.
I thought the best team that Tarkanian ever had there was the team that the referees robbed him out of the Marquette game, and because he was in trouble with the NCAA. And I think basically the referees would say, hey, you can't let him win a national championship with these guys. And he really got hosed in that game. That whole lineup went in the NBA.
Yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, with the exception of Anderson Hunt, 4 of their 5 made it to the NBA. They're starting 5. Matter of fact, I heard Greg Anthony earlier this week on NBA radio on Sirius. He was on with Frank Isola, co-hosting that show, and Greg has a son that's playing in the league. Cole Anthony. But terrific guard. Boy, did he have a lot of talent.
I was at a business meeting in Las Vegas, and I called him up and told him I was an ex-college coach and I wanted to go to his practice. And I went to Talk's practice, and I was amazed at how good a coach he was and how great a disciplinarian he was. You know, he had the reputation of being a vagabond recruiter, you know, an outlaw recruiter, but he could coach. He was really good.
Carlton Young gets on the board. The
Good for
Augusta
him.
native.
Good for him.
Got a chance to meet his family earlier this season.
I think they're right behind us.
Worked out that they're in town. Young man who was an all-state prospect in both Texas and Virginia. All region, a couple of times over. Born in Augusta. Part of a military family, as Charlie Macbeth scores. So Charlie in double figures now. Carlton Young working against 3 defenders this time. Young rejected into the corner. Trengone with the swipe. Now Jacob Daniels and Tommy Moore will try to slow things down with 90 seconds left.
There's those hands again.
Fouls on the Jaguars. Charlie McBeth. That's his 4th foul.
This game for the last 5 or 6 minutes has been just up and down, fooling around basketball. So
Just trying to get to the finish line, Coach.
Trying to make it to the end. Trying to get on the bus in one piece.
Trengone. Fans having some consolation as Charlie. Again, those threes just not falling for the Jags. Augusta will head to USC Aiken coming up on Saturday, 3:30 the scheduled time. The women will go first at 1:30. Try to get a little revenge from a 75-71 setback. Jaguars suffered nearly a month ago on January the 14th. Elias Paulson with 23 points and Don Fon with 10 boards in that game. We talked about it at the time, Coach. Uncharacteristic to have the Jags and Aiken battling at that point, tied for 8th.
Yeah, that's right.
With only 8 slots available to get into the Peach Belt Conference tournament.
It's odd, and they're both down there for the same reason. They both lost key players to the portal, and that's Division II basketball now in the future. You get yourself 5 or 6 good freshmen and develop them, and you got to go out and you've got to keep 5 or 6 players off the portal and off a transfer.
Yeah, you think in terms of Dimitri Gardner, his exit would have been his senior campaign. He was on the Bevo Francis watch list for an All-American opportunity, leading scorer in the Peach Belt. That was a huge loss. And then behind that, when you lose your point guard and John St. Germain, the third.
Yeah, Meach's Gardner is averaging, I think, 12.6 points a game for East Carolina. And John St. Germain is playing the third guard up at Holy Cross, and
he's had some impact in
and he's playing a little bit more. In the beginning of the year, he was only playing 8-10 minutes a game. Now he's getting up to 16-17 minutes a game.
Yeah, thanks to our friend Ken Jimerson. He sent us some footage of St. Germain in the final seconds of a Bob Cousy Appreciation Day game, in which St. Germain was active. 28 seconds left. Elias Paulson fakes the 3, instead elevates and knocks it down.
This is a 20-point game that's going to end up being a 10-point game.
Tommy Moore don't need to shoot it again, and I don't think they will. 17 seconds left unless the Jaguars foul him. I guess they will. Omar Matad calls a timeout before the Jags can put their hands on the ball handler. 12.6 seconds left, so as we mentioned, Jaguars' upcoming schedule includes that trip to Aiken on Saturday. The women will start at 1:30, looking for the back-to-back victories over Aiken, and obviously AU women with a strong chance to get a top 4 bid, possibly as high as could be a regular season championship if things fall their way in the remaining 4 games left. They were victorious over Lander tonight, 71-39, and it really wasn't that close. As you see the upcoming schedule there for the Bearcats, they've got Flagler, and then at USC Buford, which is a huge matchup. That's for first place there, and then Georgia Southwestern State in their upcoming 3 games.
Well, if they play like the way they played here for the first 30 minutes, they've got a legit shot at winning the championship. But, the last 8 or 9 minutes of this game, they've just been goofing around.
So Flagler currently, coach, tied for third with a 9-5 record. And then you've got Buford, who is the #1 seed if the tournament was to start today at 11-3. Lander, with this victory, will improve to 11-3 in conference play, so they'll be in a flat-footed tie. So yeah, those are huge games down the stretch. 2 of those games back-to-back could have major impact, so it's probably we're really fortunate for Omar Watad, who's got his legs crossed over there on the sideline, to see his team take care of business here against Augusta University if they're able to hold on for the remaining 12.6 seconds to get this win, to know that they've got a huge win on Saturday, and then the following Wednesday, a week from tonight, is the showdown for first place. Here's Augusta's upcoming schedule. We touched on Aiken several times over, Clayton State, and Middle Georgia. The conference standings right now, Middle Georgia, second from the bottom. Clayton State is at the bottom, so you would think.
But it's a road game.
Right.
And it's all going to depend on what the attitude and if there's a cloud of doom over the team by then.
So again, let's go back to it. We talked about 8 teams. Jaguars will still be in that 9th place position with a 4-12 mark. They need Aiken to lose every game. Jaguars obviously have to win the remaining games. And with that, I don't know what the tiebreaker would be beyond the head-to-head, because if the Jaguars do win Saturday, what happens in that next picture as far as should they win out and Aiken were to lose and they ended up tied?
I think it's all a moot point, because they've got to win every game on their schedule for the rest of the year to have a chance. If they lose one more, it doesn't make any difference who does what. I just don't think they're going to get in there. But if they've got to win 4 in a row, that's why this game was so critical. Because if they had won this game, they would have had one game possibly to give away and still get in.
So Jaguars looking at a 6-game losing streak. Demetrius still 598 victories in his 30-year coaching career.
They're going to change this call. It's going to be Landers' ball.
No, it's going to be Jaguar basketball. Jaguars will take over the possession. Official did not come over and give us the rendering, but we see AU gets the ball with 9.5 seconds remaining, down by 11.
9-point game. They're going to score again.
Here's a lob over the top to Daramola. Stolen away, and that will do it. So in the rivalry matchup between 2 of the Peach Belt programs that have tasted an opportunity to go deep in the NCAA tournaments, this one belongs to the Lander Bearcats, who were victorious by a final count of 85-74.
Yeah, it was an 85-74 game that really was a 25-point, 20-point game. Lander goofed around for the last 9 minutes of the game and gave up about 15 points of their lead.
So with that, Demetrius, Omar Watad visiting with one another, become great friends. Of course, with his days at Lincoln Memorial as an assistant and seeing that program, the Rail Splitters, making fantastic runs as well, and now trying to do the same with Lander, getting them to the close as we get you back to our broadcast position. Charles McNeil and Lynn Carlson, our final stats coming up in a moment, your final highlight package as well. And tell you fans, it has been an uncharacteristic season for the Jaguars, a program that has a rich vibrant winning tradition, but not this season, and it's in large part because of what we talked about earlier. The two major cogs leaving the program for better opportunities they feel on the Division I level, and who could begrudge them for that. And at the same time, us as Jaguar players bringing in all this new talent. How do they meld? How do they flow? Who's the leader? Who's the point guard that's going to drive this and be the extension of the coach on the floor? And a lot of that coach we've seen in flashes, but as you said, we saw it with the women's program. You've got to finish the drill. You've got to play 4 quarters all the way to the final buzzer. And on so many occasions this season, the Jaguars men, as well as the women, have fallen in those last few seconds. Not tonight, as this was a dominant performance by the Lander Bearcats.
Yeah, they were terrific. And, you know, what was interesting is they separated. They almost got up to 30 points, and they did it without making any outside shots. So they did it with good defense, controlling the boards and driving to the basket and being able to finish. And then they had a spurt where they made 3 or 4 threes, and that really opened it up. And then uncharacteristically, with about 8 minutes to go and a 20-some-odd point lead, they start goofing off. And then the game ends up being an 11-point win.
2 players in double figures for the Jaguars. Daniel Daramola with 19. Also had 5 rebounds, a steal and an assist. Charlie Macbeth with 16 points and 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and actually a third double-digit scorer, Elias Paulson, the leading scorer with 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. So those are your leaders for the Augusta University Jaguars. Daramola's 19 is a career high for that young man, so congratulations goes out to him, and he can just build on that going forward. As for Lander, they were paced by 4 players in double figures, led by Jacob Daniels, their leading scorer with 18 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. 14 points for Antoine Weber Jr. He also had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. 12 points in the game for Grayson Pritzel. He had 2 rebounds and 3 assists, along with 2 steals. And then rounding it out, as far as double-digit scores, Bobby Crawford, the freshman guard, with 11 points and 5 boards. There you see the numbers in front of you, Coach. What stands out for you?
Well, I think what stands out is that Augusta had an abysmal 3-point night, and not too bad a 2-ball night. But here's interesting. Lander only took 42 shots. Augusta took 60 shots.
Wow.
Now, they got 60 shots, but Lander gave them about 5 baskets at the end of the game where they didn't even defend them. So prior to that, you take 5 baskets away, and they were 20 for about 55 or something like that. So the stats, even though they can usually tell you, who wins and who loses, you can see they're favored towards Lander, but the stats are weird this game because Lander just didn't try to play the last 8 minutes of the game, and a couple of the AU guys got all their points after the game was over, after Lander stopped playing.
Yeah, it's amazing. You look at the rebounding numbers, pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Jaguars obviously giving up 62% from the field in this contest, and that might be this season's best for an opponent against AU. And then the 3-point shooting, although, again, just small sample size, 5 of 14. And at the winning margin in that second half, the score was 45-41 in favor of Lander. So they only added 4 points to their halftime advantage, finishing up with an 11-point win. And we want to thank all the hardworking men and women on our cast. They've worked tirelessly to bring this to you. And we were shorthanded as well. So we want to thank all the men and women. Great pictures, great opportunities for you to see some up close and personal shots as players were diving in toward the basket. The military, I think, was treated, although it was not an Augusta victory. They were treated to some exciting college basketball, both in the women's contest, 71-39 in favor of Celeste Stewart's game, as they had picked up win number 16 on the season. And for Demetrius, his team, fell for the 12th time here in conference play. So again, Jaguars back in action on Saturday. If you can, make it over to Aiken, the Convocation Center. All roads lead there, 1:30 and 3:30, the scheduled start times. And we'll be, of course, there and then not watching on as part of the Peach Belt Conference Sports Network. So for all the hardworking men and women on our cast, we thank you so much for tuning in. And we hope to have you right back here with us a week from Wednesdays. We'll be back on the air bringing you a week from Saturday, that is. We'll be back on the air bringing you the final 2 games of the conference schedule for the Jaguar men and looking ahead to hopefully women getting a chance to play for a championship.
And to all you supporters out there, the sun will come up tomorrow. Rome wasn't built in a day, and there will be better days for the Jaguars in ahead. Be patient.
Yes.
Keep the faith.
We certainly will. And we'll say, go Jags.